What if one strange way of sitting was the first clue their mind was breaking down? Over 40% of seniors show early dementia signs through body language before memory loss even starts. But most families miss it until memory loss takes over. Today, you'll uncover 7 weird sitting habits that can reveal dementia is starting, years before anyone realizes. Spot them early, and you could protect someone you love before it's too late. Let's begin. Number 1. Sitting frozen in one position. 3 years before his diagnosis, 76-year-old Jack began sitting eerily still for hours at a time. He would sink into a chair, stare blankly, and barely move, even as laughter and noise filled the room. At first, his daughter thought he was just tired, but over time, the stillness deepened into confusion. One afternoon, Jack sat frozen so long that when someone asked if he was okay, he didn't respond. He just stared at an empty chair, convinced his brother was sitting there. That moment pushed his family to seek help, and doctors diagnosed Jack with Alzheimer's disease. Experts confirm that sitting frozen like this, without shifting, stretching, or reacting, can be one of the brain's earliest cries for help. As dementia takes hold, the brain struggles to send movement signals, trapping the body in unnatural stillness for longer and longer periods. This eerie stillness isn't just physical, it's a visible sign that parts of the brain are beginning to shut down. What looks like harmless resting could actually be silent brain damage unfolding right before your eyes. New videos daily. Feel free to subscribe. Number 2. Sitting on the very edge of chairs. 4 years before her diagnosis, 74-year-old Donna developed a strange new habit. She started perching on the very edge of chairs, barely sitting, almost ready to fall. At first, her family thought she was just restless or uncomfortable, but over time, it got worse. She would balance so precariously that she once slipped off the chair during a holiday dinner and insisted she had been getting ready to run from the strangers. That bizarre moment alarmed her family enough to push for a full medical evaluation, and doctors diagnosed Donna with Alzheimer's. Studies show that unusual sitting positions, like perching on the edge of chairs, can quietly reveal early dementia-related brain changes. As dementia starts damaging spatial awareness and risk perception, the brain struggles to judge distance, balance, and even simple movements. Without realizing it, a person may place themselves in unsafe, unstable positions that no longer match their environment. What looks like harmless nervous energy could actually be a warning that brain function is breaking down from within. Number 3. Sitting with legs twisted. 5 years before his diagnosis, 72-year-old Alan began sitting in odd, uncomfortable-looking ways. He would cross his legs tightly, twist them around chair legs, or even sit sideways, with one foot tucked under the opposite thigh. At first, his wife thought he was just fidgety, but over time, it grew stranger. Once, during a family lunch, Alan sat so twisted that he lost feeling in one leg, and later insisted someone had stolen it while he wasn't paying attention. That bizarre episode pushed his family to schedule neurological testing, which led to his dementia diagnosis. Experts confirm that distorted or uncomfortable sitting postures can be an early warning sign of brain changes tied to dementia. As the brain's motor control and body mapping systems start to break down, people may unknowingly sit in twisted, unnatural positions without realizing anything is wrong. This loss of normal posture isn't just a physical change, but a signal that neurological damage is starting to take hold. What looks like harmless fidgeting could actually be the brain's first cry for help, hidden in plain sight. Most families don't recognize these strange early signs until memory loss is already severe. But if you spot them early enough, you might still have time to slow the damage. Let's keep going. Number 4. Constantly shifting or adjusting. 2 years before her diagnosis, 79-year-old Betty couldn't seem to sit still. At family dinners, she would shift from side to side, cross and uncross her legs, tug at her sleeves, and adjust her seat repeatedly, even when there was no reason. At first, her son joked she was just getting old and restless. But over time, the fidgeting turned into deeper confusion. One evening, Betty stood up in the middle of a restaurant, insisted they were in the wrong place, and refused to sit back down. That moment pushed her family to seek answers, and doctors confirmed Alzheimer's disease. Studies reveal that constant, purposeless movement like fidgeting, adjusting clothes, shifting positions, can be an early warning sign of cognitive decline. As dementia affects impulse control and sensory processing, the brain struggles to keep the body comfortable and still. What seems like harmless restlessness could actually be a hidden cry for help from a brain under attack. Number 5. Slouching extremely. 2 years before her diagnosis, Anna, 75, started slumping in chairs even though she'd always had good posture. At first, her husband teased her about getting lazy, but over time, it grew worse. She would sit hunched, her shoulders drooping forward, sometimes so low it looked like she might slide off the seat. One afternoon at church, Anna slouched so deeply she couldn't recognize the people sitting beside her. That moment pushed her family to seek a full medical evaluation, and doctors diagnosed her with dementia. Studies show that sudden posture changes, like persistent slouching, can reveal damage to the brain's motor centers. As dementia progresses, it weakens the systems that control body awareness, balance, and strength. What looks like simple fatigue could actually be one of the first outward signs that cognitive decline is underway. Number 6. Resting head in hands or staring blankly. 2 years before his diagnosis, Paul, 78, began sitting with his head buried in his hands for long stretches. He would lean forward, elbows on his knees, face hidden, and stay that way even during family conversations. At first, his wife thought he was just tired, but over time, the behavior grew more unsettling. One afternoon, Paul sat like that through an entire birthday party, barely speaking. When someone tried to greet him, he muttered, "I don't know which world I'm in." That moment pushed his family to schedule a full evaluation, and doctors diagnosed Paul with Alzheimer's. Research confirms that long periods of blank staring, head hanging, or withdrawn posture can be an early warning sign of cognitive decline. As dementia damages emotional and social centers, the brain struggles to stay connected to its surroundings. What looks like deep thought or tiredness could actually be one of the earliest cracks in normal brain function. Number 7. Needing help to sit properly. 5 years before her diagnosis, 80-year-old Gloria began struggling to sit down normally, even without any injuries. She would hover awkwardly over chairs, miss the seat, or lower herself like she wasn't sure how far the chair was. At first, her daughter thought it was just aging or arthritis, but over time, the hesitation grew into deeper confusion. One afternoon, Gloria froze halfway through sitting, looked terrified, and whispered, "Is the floor still there?" That moment led her family to seek immediate medical evaluation, and doctors diagnosed her with dementia. Studies show that difficulty judging distance and body positioning, even for simple tasks like sitting, can be one of the first physical clues that dementia is starting. As the brain's spatial awareness and coordination centers weaken, everyday movements become strange, slow, and uncertain. What seems like clumsiness could actually be an early warning of deep cognitive damage. The first sign of brain decline isn't always what they say. It can be how they sit. Catch it early, and you might change the future they're heading toward.
And there you have it. What are your thoughts? Next, dive into this video for more essential tips to transform your health and help you thrive. You're going to love it. Thanks for watching Healthy End, and we'll see you there.